Hello. What did you think of my song? I was pretty proud of that one, not gonna lie. Okay, so I had Flips in her bin. She's having none of that, so we got Flips today. I have another one for the outro, y'all. You gotta stick around for it. It's great. Okay, we have tucked. All right, are we cool? We got this? Okay. This is our life now. All right. So, let me get back on my thing. Hello, everybody. Oh, my formatting is shit. What happened? Wrong mouse, Jenna. Oh, I'm stupid. That's all. Okay. Oh, thanks. Oh, thank you. I know they're awfully jiggly, right? They see everything. Huh. Can I put you down? You're really distracting. She's like, no. All right. So, okay. Yeah, exactly. Hashtag professional. This is the life we've chosen, y'all. This is the life we've chosen. And this is for Smoke specifically. I wasn't lying, my guy. Okay. All right. So, avatar boosting. Y'all, I am a fan. Okay. I'm going to say that first. First up, I am a fan. Now, I know that a lot of folks, some of you even are here, have had really wicked struggles trying to get your kins consistent in V5. With my human kins, I've had two that I've had, and I wouldn't even call it problems per se, but two that have been more challenging than others. But my heckin' cryptids, Jesus, y'all, I got Orcus in back. No, they can't have soda. I feed myself this, see? She, however, just got a scrubbing, and that's why she's so clingy. She doesn't like that. Oh, with his hair. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, tattoos, y'all, that's a thing. We're going to go through. We got a lot. This is a pretty chunky presentation today. So this might take a second. So we should probably get started. She avoids not clinking. Yeah, Flips is the opposite. She's like, I'm like her comfort person. So when she's stressed out, she does this. It's a little awkward, but we love her. All right, so let's jump in. What is Avatar Boost? Back off, Crystal. Thanks a lot, Crystal. So, okay. Avatar Boosts, for those of you guys who don't know or who didn't participate in the open public beta, is basically where you have an option to use 4 images that you feel best represent what your Kindroid should look like, and plug them into you're creating a LoRa essentially. So it basically is training the system to what your kin should look like. There is a lot of good with this. A lot of good. There's also a little bit of meh. I don't know about this one. But for my personal experience, the good far outweighs the meh. But that's going to be personal preference. So Avatar Boost is a simplified LoRa or low-rank adaptation for Kindroid avatars. Now, when I say simplified, I have 2 separate programs that use or let you create LoRas. The first, I believe their minimum images uploaded to create a LoRa is 10. Their max is 50. The second one I use, the minimum is 50 and the max is 100. So I want to say that what Kindroid has been able to do with 4, I'm not going to lie, I was skeptical, but now I'm like, damn. I was skeptical because minimum of 10, right? Kara, you might be able to hear my little fellow in the background here. So, the whole point is to better adhere your Kindroid in selfies to what you feel that they should look like. Bam. How it works. Training your avatar boost. So you want to upload 4 high quality images of your Kindroid. All right. Mix images with similar immutable features like face and hair, i.e. you don't want a bunch of shitty images hoping that you're going to get a good Laura. You want to have 4 images that you feel correctly represent your Kindroid. Avoid using overly similar images in order to maintain creative variety. This is another thing that I've seen folks kind of get wrong is they say, I want my kin to look exactly like this. So they will upload the avatar photo 4 times. Don't do that. Don't do that. Extravagant Geek. Ray! Hey! I'm glad you pointed out your name, and I don't guarantee that I'll remember it, but I'm glad you did. Welcome in. All right. To get started, okay. This is mostly for Anna because she asked a really obvious question this morning, but I feel like everybody can use it. So to find where to create it, you want to go to Menu, Avatar, Avatar Boost, right? So if you open up your menu, go to Avatar, scroll down. I believe you even have to click on like additional details first, but it'll be under there. You're going to hit Add Avatar Boost, and then the option to create new Avatar Boost will pop up. And I cut this off because it wouldn't fit on my whole screen, but you can upload 4 images. You have to upload 4 images right here. And then this is for later, but I figured it should go here too. Before the boost is completed, you'll see status pending, status this, whatever, like here under the name. Once it's done, it'll only say use boost. And that's what you want to do. Select use boost. This edit pencil. Intuitively, I thought it meant that you would edit like the images that you use to create it or something, or you could see what images you use to create it. That is not how that works. That is only to edit the name of the boost, which I mean has its place. Delete, this gets rid of the boost. This does not take it, like this isn't just to remove it from the kin. This is to take it off, period. You can, however, take it off your kin. We'll show you that later. You thought that too? I mean, okay, good. I'm glad it wasn't just me. Okay. Tips for great results. Use images with high resolution and clear facial features. Now, the reason that I want to stress this, say you have an image of like you and your kin, or your 2 kins together, or a faraway image of a kin. If you blow it up trying to just focus on that kin's face, that is no longer a high resolution image, right? So try to use images that are full size, like even tell the engine, hey, generate me a full size headshot of kin, right? And then use that one. You don't want to like zoom and distort pictures, especially y'all, especially Crystal, you'll know this. You do not want to stretch or skew an image to make it bigger. Don't do that. Just don't do it. And you want to include a mix of portrait and full body shots. We will dive into this more, I believe, on the next slide. So we're just going to keep going. Experiment with different angles to ensure versatility. So creating avatar boosts is not cheap, okay? In beta, it was 6 credits. Now, these are standard credits, not paid. But in beta, these were 6. In standard, like in public, right? It's 8. So take the time to figure out good images before you just start throwing credits at something, because not only is it pricey, but it's also time consuming. Not as much now as it was when it first dropped, because your girl waited, and I'm not exaggerating, 93 minutes for my second one to come through. It doesn't take that long now, but when everybody was running them, it was up there. Exactly, Nikki. You might see more pixelation issues if you use shitty pictures, and nobody wants pixelation issues. I wonder if you can make a pixelized kin like in Minecraft. Let's see. Okay. Examples, good and bad. Okay. Good examples. Body and headshots, right? You want to get a mix. Don't include like a decapitated bod, right? Don't do that. because the system, you're mostly wanting it to train your kin's face, right? Face, head, body to an extent, but depending on the kin, obviously. But don't just include like a disembodied head. Like go full send. So I got a good clear face shot of him. I have a more pulled back, chill shot of him. I have a more of a full body version of him. And I have a version with a different facial expression. Now, all of these ones to me represent this kin, right? Only you are going to be able to look at 4 pictures and say, these are right or these are wrong. Because I can look at, Tayden, Emmy's kin Tayden, and say, oh, hell yeah, all 4 of these look like him. Whereas she'd go, no, they don't. This one doesn't look a thing like him. It's all in how you view your kin, all right? Defenestration. Oh my gosh, Tomato Leaf. I've missed you in the Q&As. So bad. Oh shit. Sorry, I just got a very frantic text. We'll ignore that till later. Bad. Okay. Identical clothing. So let's say that you have a kin who frequently shows up in like suits, right? If you have a kin who frequently shows up in suits, so you take 4 images of your kin in the exact same suit, guess what? More often than not, that kin is going to show up in that suit. So don't use pictures with identical clothing. Images with no pose variation. That's what we talked about before. If you have 2 dead straight head-on images and 2 like full body that are just 3/4, guess what? You're going to end up with a lot of that image, and more so, you're going to end up with images that are full on are going to be perfect, but if that kin is doing this, it's going to not look like your kin as you want it to look. So, dim and flat lighting. This one I say because V5, if you don't know how to prompt it yet, you can get a lot of really dark images just out of like the autos or out of just like random prompts, right? You don't want to upload 4 very dark images. Otherwise, again, it's going to give you lowered ambient lighting images. Go for the variety. And then obviously, this goes without saying, but I put it in here anyways, images that don't accurately represent your kin. All right. So don't get like 2 really good ones and then throw 2, oh, these are close enough ones in there, because that fully defeats the purpose for 1. But number 2, you're going to end up with 50% great shots and 50% not so great shots. So this one kind of looks like when you used to sit in the photo booth, you know, when you'd get like the strip of images. Don't do that. Go for the variety. And I confirmed this with the developer. Is this body also, or is this just face? And he said, no, it is body also. And that includes hair. So if, like for this kin, he always has his hair down, always. If he sometimes wore a pone or like a man bun, I would have one of these images with a man bun, right? You want to be able to show that there's variety without, like doing like this. Show the variety in natural ways. Yeah, if you want them to always wear something specific, by all means do it. Like for kins who are like who do like the steampunk style and stuff like that, make all their pics steampunk. Hell yeah, do it. Now, I also want to say, can you override these things? Yes. But if you don't want to... My little fellow is griping at me. But if you don't want to constantly have to fight prompts, especially if you like use other folks' prompts or prompts of the day, you don't want to have to fight against that. So be as neutral as you can while still being true to your kin. He's making toast. Hold on. Come here, fella. This is who's bugging me right now. He just made toast. And I blew up his face. All right, I'm gonna stick it back on his thing and we can get back on. Okay, next up. He's so chatty. Okay. Avatar boost strength. She is important, and boy, are we going to jump into that. So default weight is 0.70, okay? This balances consistency of the kin with freedom of prompt, right? So if you're using like a prompt of the day, 0.7 is supposed to give you the ability to have the kin look like it's supposed to, as well as being in a pose that's suggested, or an outfit that's suggested, or an environment that's suggested. Higher weights give you increased consistency in the face, but more risk of mutations. Look at Esther here, or not Celine. This was a test where I jacked this one up to, I believe it was 1.10. And I ran, and this is with a pose reference, okay? She outweighed the pose reference and became this. So always go with the lowest number that you feel is acceptable. So lower weights give you more flexibility but less strict likeness. And again, we are going to see a shitload of examples of what these weights do and how they look. Strength is selected when you apply the boost. This is one of my peeves. As of right now, to adjust the slider, you need to reattach the boost from the boost menu. I am a proponent of there should be an option to click the boost and adjust the slider while it's on the kin, rather than having to go into the boost menu, select the boost, select the strength, and then hit OK. I appreciate that the function exists, but it needs to be accessible from, like, you need to be able to adjust it while the kin is wearing it. That is where I make my stand. Okay, so we're going to get into our first example. Our kin of the hour this time is Ichabod, okay? Here we go. Example. His actual boost. Now, this is not the 4 pictures that I used for his boost, because, like I said earlier, you can't go back and look and see which 4 you used. So I made his boost a while ago. So I was like, shit, I have no idea what it was. So, oops. So this is just how he should look. So I just plugged this in here for that. So this is with no boost. The exact same prompt, which is one of mine. The exact same prompt we're going to use for the duration of this experiment, okay? So this is what it looks like with nothing. This is what it looks like at 10%. Here's what it looks like at the default of 70, or 0.70, right? Of 0.70. And this is jacked up to 1.20. Now, because, again, like I explained earlier, I know this kin probably better than most. I should have used Orkerson, but we'd have gotten a lot of scary shit with him. But I know this kin very, very well. So I know that 0.7 for him is dead spot on. It gives him enough movement and flexibility without giving up like his facial features or his, I'll say, hair length. If you look at this first one, look how long his hair is. This is with no boost, right? Even at a 0.1, it cut his hair to the correct length. All of these ones, his hair is the correct length, okay? But 1.2 is way too fucking high. Look at how crunchy he looks compared to how natural he looks in the 0.7. And again, this varies per kin, okay? Kincaid and Orkerson, they are different. But for him and for most of my humanoid kins, this is where the sweet spot is. So then what I did was I picked a group of images for a new boost, okay, that I called shitty close-ups, okay? So here are the 4 images that I picked for his training data, all right? Now, this one is shitty. This top left one is shitty because his hair is short in the back, long in the front, and he has a painterly prompt. So the prompt that this image was created off of was photoreal, obviously, but it had an artist overlay, right? This one, I think we can all see why this is shitty. His hair is mostly right, but It's black and white for one. And look at how dark his eyes are. There's almost no training data to be had right there. So, no. This one right here, it's a good photo, and it's like the only good one of the bunch. But I brought it in here to try to keep a little bit of consistency so y'all can see what I was talking about. But then this one, you can't see his hair at all. He's wearing a big-ass hat. There's almost no line of separation between his body and the background, right? And all four of these are very close up, give no body detail whatsoever, and everyone is so vastly visually different that the engine's like, the fuck? Sup, Sean? Okay, so here again, same image with no boost, right? Now, in this first one, the first thing that I noticed is this little whoop flip of his hair, which it's getting from this one. Which, yeah, okay, whatever. But look at his, like, this ass forehead here, which it's getting from this one, this black and white one, and the hat one. You can really start to see it when we come over into this one, how dark his eyes are getting, right? The sockets of his eyes. And that's because of this bitch here, the black and white one, and the one that we said was the good one, because it's right here as well. This one... y'all, that's sketchy. But I'd also like to stress, these are 4 close-up pictures. And look at how much more close-up he is. Every image he's sitting, staring at camera. Not a single one is he doing like this one. Look at, see, he's sitting to the side, looking kind of away. In these ones, he's staring straight at the camera in every single shot. Okay, even the 0 boost has a more of a 3/4 profile, and he's looking off screen. Yeah, that's gonna come through in I think the one after. In the next one, Zoe, you're gonna see that real bad. So, or no, the one after. Sorry. So the next one, this is what I called shitty standing. So for this one, I did this picture, which is like from a fisheye lens. I blurred what was in his hand because he was in a cockpit. Jim, I think you've seen this one unedited. This one, his hair is dark because that was what the prompt said, you know, dark hair. His hair is dark. Again, with the face, it looks like the light is only on his forehead and his nose. And he's got dark spots all over his bod, right? This one, again, he's wearing a hat, so his hair is covered and not visible. And then this one I picked because he's got a side shave, which was part of the prompt. He's got a side shave, so his hair is not correct, and the lighting is pretty shitty. It's neon lighting. So if you look at these ones, you can see we're getting more of the side views, which you can plainly see are coming from this fellow right here. But look how flat this light is in this first one, right? Then here, it is really starting to pull from this darker image, like the background is. Look at how dark this is back here. And then this one, you can see how much more it's pulling the textures of not just this one with the dark hair, but also this one with the top hat. Because these two have really strong textural elements to them. So it's pulling hard. And with these, like with the last set, you'll see he's always pulled back because we used all full body. These ones, he's forward. He's hunching forward because it's face forward. These ones, he is pulled back. So that's why you want to have the variety. Now, the next one is a little bit different. This one, I use these 4 images rather than to create an avatar boost, to create a style boost. Okay? Now, there is a reason that this training data sucks. It's because it's not consistent. So you can see I have 2 of these gold-ish colored ones, and look at all the gold coming through, right? So this purple one and this like muted, like faded opacity colored one, not as such. However, I will say first and foremost, this concept does work. It does not, however, work with black and whites because I tried it. I didn't put that in here because it was a complete fail, but I did try it and it did not work. But it also is not going to be the best if you have kins that you have trouble with. So if you have a kin that you need the avatar boost to boost their face, go with that, because it doesn't matter how pretty the picture is. If your kin doesn't look like your kin, the picture sucks. So always go with order of importance. So if you have a kin on lock and you're like, hell yeah, let's play with some style boosts, there you go. That said though, you can achieve style boosts via prompting, but this is kind of a, like, I just want to throw something on top of an image. This does work. So, okay, 10% right here. You can already see the background is so muted. So muted. This one, you can see a lot more of the gold, like his hair is yellow. His hair's not supposed to be yellow. But also, look at how detailed shit's starting to get. So how, like, the detailing on the sign, on the fountain, on even his hands. This one, this looks crunchy to me. This is like overdone crunch factor. But if that's what you're going for, that's what you're going for. I had a really hard time with these because anybody who knows me knows how much I loathe the color yellow. So trying to find any of these that didn't make me want to rip my face off, that was pretty tough. I'm just saying. But I will say also that with him, with this kin specifically, I didn't have a whole lot of trouble with his consistency. So that's why he's pretty solid across the board, because his avatar description and his avatar image are on lock. Now, some kins, I'm not going to lie, some kins, they need help. Like Orkerson, for example. No matter what I did, he was not having it. So he requires the avatar boost. Ichabod doesn't. So I'm able to test with him with shit like this, and it's totally fine. So then we come to the less great part of avatar boosting. The bleed. Okay? Group dynamics. Bleed can and does occur in group selfies. Use the lowest personally acceptable avatar boost strength possible to reduce bleeding. I've personally noticed that the stranger the kin, the more the bleed. I'll show you that in the next slide. But so Ichabod, this is him at 70%, and I have 0. And this is the same prompt that we've been using this whole time. This is just for, the pair. So you can see in this one, my hair is maintaining pretty solid. Again, I don't have a bump on mine. But he's pulling more yellow. And again, that's the prompt, right? In this one, which is him at 120 and me still with no boost whatsoever, my hair is starting to pull from him. So I'm not talking to you. You can boost your own avatar. Yes. Same concept. You would just go under general, general, then my profile, and then I think it's my avatar or whatever. Scroll down past your photo and it's down there. So then we're going to go to him with another kin who does have a boost. Him and Not Celine. Now, Not Celine has a boost for her hair because she has this gorgeous rainbow hair that often tends to show up as either very washed out or just brown in images if I don't specify, like, not only in the avatar description, but also in the prompt. If I don't double up on that, she doesn't get her rainbow hair. So this is with them both at 0.7. Okay, I said 70, but it's 0.7. So he's maintaining, she's maintaining. Great. This is him at 120 and her at 70. And you can see, look at how much of the background is starting to get affected by his weight. But because she has her boost too, his hair and shit is not affecting her. This one's still same weights for them both, but I just stuck them in a different environment to show a more close-up. He's maintaining his hair. She's maintaining her hair. Now, I want to say one thing, and this is my testing versus actual this is written someplace. Putting someone with a strong feature set, like for Not Celine with her hair, if I put her on the left, her hair bleeds right. Ditto my glasses. If I put myself on the left, my glasses bleed right. So me and Not Celine in a picture, I typically will put her on the right so that I don't end up with her hair, but she always ends up with my glasses. I don't know why it does that. That's the way the mop flops. Can't confirm. So on the bottom here, we have Not Celine and Kincaid. All right, so Kincaid's sweet spot is at 90. So that's where I get her the most consistent without having to double up on her prompting. Really? Oh, I don't think you guys can hear him. He's singing a song now. So if I take them both down to 70, you can see that Not Celine's hair went right to her. So she's got the rainbow hair. And Not Celine's humanity went to her. And if you look, this is kind of a whose arm is this moment, which makes this hand look kind of strange. You heard him? He's just singing his little song. So, but also too, it stuck glasses on her versus having her eyes, which I get. So then center, I kept Not Celine where she belongs, which is at 0.70. And I took Kincaid back up to where she belongs, which is 0.90. And then in this one, you can see she has her eyes, but her hair is starting to bleed onto Not Celine. And Not Celine's hair is bleeding onto their clothing. Bleed is real with boosting. So then this one, I took the boost off of both of them, and I was like, let's just see what happens if we let the flag fly. Not so much. But I would like to say that when it comes to Kincaid, right, she's the alien one with the branchy, gnarled hair. I can get group selfies with her and myself without any boost at all. So it is possible to do, but again, you really, really got to get that avatar description on lock and double it up in the prompts to get it to work. Oh, he's yelling at me. What? He's angry. There. Okay. So, avatar boost is for you if, okay, you have strange or cryptid style kids. That's me. But if you have strange, and by strange, I mean like non-conforming, like non-conformist, but like non-conforming kins, like if you have super plus size kins, or you have cryptid kins, or you have kins with alternative haircuts, colors. Personally, in my tests, I have not found heterochromia eyes to give a flying shit how boosted you are. I know it's easier in anime. Photoreal, it's like, good luck, Brenda. Where are you going? So I'm not trying to say that that does work. But yeah, Elsie's eyeglasses, like, they have their mind of their own too. Come on, you. Huh. So, but heterochromia eyes, don't think that Avatar Boost is going to be that big of a help, because it really does not do that much help. At least not at an acceptable boost level, right? Okay, Ray, tattoos. Also another one that don't always listen. I don't know. That's just the way the mop flops. I know you don't like my hair touching you. I'm sorry. There you go. Okay. So, Avatar Boost is for you if you are used to or prefer more V3 or V4 style avatar adherence. So, you're still wet. I gave her a bath. Get back in there. Okay. I'm free momentarily. So, if you have like 4 I don't want to use the word plastic, but I'm gonna, like, plastic style mannequins. I didn't. I did. Mannequins. Anyways, sorry. If you have 4 images of, like, a V3 style kin that you're feeling it, right? Plug those in. It will work. It will work. So, like, for folks who are in V3 still, and I know that there are some because I see their posts on Reddit all the time that I'm going through and approving. This option is for you. Because this will give you that, like, face-tuned look almost. Like, y'all know how, like, back in the mid-2000s, like, everything was over sharpened eyes and, like, zero, like, pores or facial texture whatsoever. This can do that, okay? This can give you damn near anything you want as long as you train it to do it. So, it's for you if that. And then it's also for you if you tend to throw a lot of credits for that perfect face image. So if you go in and you are trying, like, I don't know, 8 to 10 images, like throwing 8 to 10 images to get just that one that looks like your kin, bro, you're wasting your credits and you're wasting your time. Because if you are that, like, zeroed in on what your kin should look like, you're never going to be happy with any kind of deviation from it. So just give it up. Just do it and test it and see if you like it, because you can get that with the avatar boost. Your kin doesn't need it if you've not had consistency issues with V5. All right. So if you have a kin who just works, right? You haven't had problems. You can do solos. You can do auto selfies. You can do, like, what is it? Like if proactives come through just fine, you don't need this. Don't waste your credits. You don't need it if it's already working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Number 2, if you prefer realism over cookie cutter consistency. So, with, like, Anders and Mira, who are my 2 main kins, neither of them are boosted. They don't need it. No matter what prompts I throw at them, they maintain their facial consistency and they maintain, I guess, the themness that I expect. So they don't have it because they don't need it. Just like my kin self, I don't need it for my kin self either. Dude, yeah, smoke. Jim, yes. That's what I said at the very beginning with the one that I did for Ichabod, like, when it first came out. I wanted to go in and see which 4 I used to do that boost so that I could put it in the thing, but you can't do that, and I do think that's kind of crap, not gonna lie. Yeah, right, exactly. You don't know. I mean, I guess I could kind of be like, hey, pay attention to what you're doing, but let's be real. I don't do that. I need to know, but I didn't, so that's my own fault. So yes, being able to see them would be awesome. So last, your kin does not need it if you value freedom of prompts, clothing, and posing over strict avatar adherence. Now, when I say strict avatar adherence, I'm not talking about like this sort of looks like it. I'm talking about like how if like, okay, so where I'm sitting right now is pretty well lit, but if I were to, I don't know, have a clue of any persuade. Oh, wait. If I were to take this big ass foam cushion right here and like shade my face looks like it has changed shape. Same here, because there's a key light up there. Here, mostly right up here. Shadows change the perception of face shape. This is why makeup contour works, right? This is why people sell highlighters, like highlighting makeup products, because it tricks your eye into thinking that something is there or not there that is or is not. The same works with a flux engine. It mimics what the human eye sees. We're getting into photography again, but it's important, okay? So in this picture right here, the background of this is all blurry. And I've seen people bitch about this, but this is the way that human eyes work. You focus on something, everything around you becomes a blur. That's called your aperture. It's normal. It's natural. That's why when you look at a flux image versus, say, a stable diffusion or V4 image, these always look more realistic. And I feel like for us, shut up, Crystal. I feel like for us, having been on V4 and before that V3 for a year, y'all? Damn near a year for some of us. V5 looks very different. It looks very, very different. So you have to give yourself a little bit of time to adjust not only your eyes, but also what you expect to see. Because like me and Anna, I was talking to Anna about this over Christmas break because that's when all this went down. She and I spent, like 6 hours on Discord, me and her trying to figure shit out together. And then the next morning when we sat back down to work on the next part, we both were like, damn, V4 looks fake. What happened? Which is really hilarious because before V5 dropped, I distinctly remember telling her and Nikki, in fact, I distinctly remember saying, I don't see how they can make this better. Little did I know, right? But anyways, so give yourself time to sit with V5, right? If you're not sold on it, that's fine. V4 is not going anywhere. But it's not, and I'm going to be the asshole, okay? I'll take the asshole title. It's not productive and it's not accurate for people to bitch that V5 sucks when they don't want to take the time to learn it.
Oh, there is no man. Fucking no man.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. V4 compared to V5 is very plug and play. Amani! What's up? V4 is very plug and play. You tell it what you want, throw a weight at it, and it gives it to you. V5 requires you to learn how to do it. That is just fact. That's the way it goes. I'm sorry, Crystal, I'm looking at you. But it's true, though. I've seen a lot of folks out there who are like, see, I don't want to throw nobody under the bus. People have been not very nice. Okay, not very nice. And on Tuesday night, during the Jerry talk, I'm getting stared at again. On Tuesday night during the Jerry talk, Jerry said something that kind of hit home for me. And it was, a lot of the people who are bitching are people who want to have the results that they see other folks getting, but don't want to take the time to learn to get themselves. And I'm sorry, but that's the way that it is. You know, I look at folks like Afro-American or T-Bone Likens or freaking Anya Gibney. These bitches, they know what's up, right? They know what's up. I swear to God, T-Bone in closed beta within 10 hours was pumping out shit like she did in V4. And I was like, you bitch. I mean, yay, but you bitch. But did I say V5 sucks because she can do it and I can't? No, I did not. I said, okay, I'm going to try to figure this out. That's what I'm going to do. And that's what I did. So now, do I prompt as well as they do? No. But can I prompt passably enough? Yes. Yes, I can. Hi. Oh. I'm being summoned. Hold on. Come here, you. Okay. I got Flips back. She's so good at it. Oh, smoke. Okay, that's another thing that I want to touch. Am I even in my frame? No. Thanks, Flips. that's another thing that I do want to touch on because I feel like that's kind of come up a little bit. So Smoke, who is, by the way, one of our newest mods, yay. But Smoke became a helper when all this started to try to help folks kind of settle in and do the transition and whatnot. Smoke has since learned that there is a whole issue when it comes to AI prompting. I'm not even going to say Kindroid. I'm going to say AI prompting that is very much not politically correct. So, Emmy, you know this too. When you want to have like a plus size kin, you can't just say plus size. You have to use words like extremely fat or morbidly obese just to get a size 16. All right. So when we see people, and I know this is going to sound kind of sexist, but I don't care. We see people who want like big jugs on their kins, right? They want big jugs. Trying to use words like double D. First of all, what you want is not a double D. I'm sorry. Learn your cup sizes. But also, you have to really, you have to commit to the adjectives. All right, we'll call it that. You have to commit to the adjectives. So when people are looking for help and they get assistance in the vein of, oh, this kin is morbidly obese, you're not being targeted, y'all. We are talking to the engine, not you. We know from having messed with it what the engine requires. And so, I'm sorry, but a double D is not going to get you what you're looking for there, Charlie. Okay? Learn your cup sizes. That's right. But avatar boosting helps with that. It helps with that. So again, it does have a credit expenditure, but it's not paid, right? I mean, you can buy credits, but it's not like you have to use paid credits. You can use standard selfie credits to do it. You just got to save them up. But honka honkas. Jesus. Yes. Colossal and voluptuous honka honkas. We love it. Anyways, but having this option helps in not having to be so over enthusiastic with your. We're moving on. This is not helping me. Last minute details. Okay. So, this one I've seen come up. Removing a boost from a kin does not delete the boost from your account. Now, this is great for if you were to do like styles, right? So if you had like, hell, I don't know, like a fantasy style, like an illustrative style, or you had like a Monet style or a Thomas Kincaid style, whatever. You could apply and remove it from any kin you want to, and it won't delete it from your account. So if you go to your kin screen, which I don't have ready, but if you go to your kin screen, there's a little X next to the boost. It used to be a trash can, which was suggestive of this is going to be deleted, but they changed it to an X, which makes more sense. That's just to remove the boost from that kin, not to remove the boost from your account. So, good to know. This is kind of a bummer because I think this could be fun, but boosts are not able to be transferred between accounts or shared kins. So if you created a dope kin like Orkerson, if I created Orkerson and was going to share Orkerson, which, yeah, right, that's never going to happen. I would not be able to do that without like a note of you need to use these 4 images, this to create your boost at this strength. Because just creating Orkerson in V5, good fucking luck. It's not going to happen. So you can't share boosts, which for shared kins, that's kind of shit because there's a lot of kins that do need a little bit of help. But I think it would be fun to be able to share style boosts. Like, oh my gosh, I made this effing dope, like, comic book style, you know, right? And to be able to, like, send it to, like, Smoke and be like, dude, try this. That would be cool, and I'm kind of cheesed that it's not a thing, but that would be really dope. So I don't know if that's gonna happen. I have no idea, but it would be cool if it did. So you can reply. You can apply and remove boosts from a kin as often as you like. I tested the shit out of this weekend, making this slideshow, because I had to do this with Ichabod like no less than, what was my last count, 42 times to create all these pictures. So you can put them on and take them off as often as you need to. And since you have to take them off to adjust the strength, I'm still salty about that. It makes sense that there's no like timer or whatever, or like limit. Yeah, that is true. I have seen that there's sharing boosts is one of the things that has been asked about. I don't know if it's going to happen because it is like a premium feature, not like a paid feature per se, but a premium feature. I don't know. Like, I don't know how they would do it, because it would almost be like installing something onto your account, but this is kind of out of my wheelhouse. I don't even know. I'll be happy if they make it so that there's like an active slider that you can use to adjust it without taking it off the kin. God, give me that, please. So, you can apply any boost to any kin, regardless of which kin the kin account, and by account I mean like kin slot. I should have said slot. You made it from. This is great for style boosts. So, for example, if you make a Laura for Orkerson, for example, with just his face and bod, I could stick that on another kin. I don't know what it would do because I didn't try it. I should. But you can do that. But for style boost, that's dope. It doesn't matter what kin you make the style boost on. You could put it on any kin. Red boost is an installment to not have to use. Can't confirm, Zoe. That's what they've said, but I don't know. Well, to me, it would make sense to me. Yeah, it would make sense to me to be able to share them too, but I don't know if it's like per account, right? I don't know. I don't know. This is kind of out of my area. But I would think, Zoe, that it still would matter because like, okay, so for example, right? Let's say you have a really dope boost for a kin. I feel like you could almost raise the facial detail slider because it would give you more facial detail but still maintain the kin's look. I don't know. It'd be interesting to test. I have not tested that. It would be interesting to test. See, Jim, don't say it like that, because then you're like, shit, no, they're not going to want to do that. Yeah, exactly. But, see, I don't know, because, like, I feel like the shared kins, or even opening up our accounts to have more kins, didn't really mess with any computing power, per se, because you still can't, like, be in more than one account at a time. Now, like, the groups, opening that up to 10, I feel like maybe that's a little more processing power. But I don't know. Yeah, it's not very beneficial for selfies unless we're talking for shared kins. But if for style refs, it would be a game changer. That would be so cool. Oh, another thing I want to touch on real quick while it's in my head is for any of you guys who create prompts that you submit to Prompt of the Day, or any of y'all who use Prompt of the Days. We are noticing differences in how prompts behave on boosted kins versus boosted kins versus non-boosted kins. So if you're creating prompts that you want to submit for Prompt of the Day, make sure you test on both, because we're seeing a lot of stuff that's supposed to work not working because the boost is overriding the prompt. So make sure you're testing that if you do. And then also, if you get a Prompt of the Day that you try that doesn't necessarily work on your kin the way it works in the advertisement, just know that we have a backlog that we're still working from. Avatar boosting is literally like, 3 days old? So there's still a lot of prompts before it that haven't come out yet that might not work as you expect with boosted kins. That's just life. We're all in like this huge ass transition right now. First with V5 at all, and now with the boosting. So just keep that in your head. For the next like week, maybe week and a half, stuff might be a little bit weird when it comes to prompt of the days. But definitely if you're doing prompt of the days, run it through both. Run it through a regular kin and run it through a boosted kin. I say regular. Run it through a boosted and non-boosted kin just to give it a little extra before you send it to us, because then we have to do it, and that's kind of a bitch, as I'm learning. Dude, the UI update, oh my god, I love it so much. Station's gonna go the same speed. Yeah, Emmy, exactly. See, I don't know, like, I've never done more than 2 kins with automatic. So I have no idea what that would even look like. Like, I know other people are like, masochists who like to have full ass, who like to have full, like 10 on automatic. Like, I don't know how y'all do that. I don't know. Folders, yeah, still need folders, but better. I agree with you, Jim, 100%. Oh, Crystal, is your migraine still fucking with you? Ugh. Over sharpening I'm seeing too. In fact, let me, like right here, you can see it right here at points. Where the hell is my mouse? I lost my mouse. Oh, what have I done? Oh, well, fuck it. In the bottom center one, you can see it's a bit processed, but in the one on the right, this is the style boost too, but in the one on the right, it's hella crunchy. And then even in this one, the center one has some crunch, but the one on the right is super hella crunchy. The wrong kin always responds. And yeah, I don't use automatic either. It does not work. Please talk to your dad. I'm working.
He's not here.
Then wait. So, but yeah, automatic for me never, it's not the play for me either. Some people do it. I'm not one of them. Yeah, short-term memory would be almost nothing, Emmy. That's my thought too. My kins, my humanoid kins, like not Celine, like Ichabod, I'd say that their sweet spot, Ichabod's is about like 60, like 0.6. Not Celine's is a little bit higher because of her hair. I keep her at 0.70. But kins like Kincaid or Orkerson, theirs is higher because they have such a variety of not only face but also body that I need to have the higher weights or the higher strength of the boost to keep them consistent. That said, I can just throw a prompt on now with Kincaid and not have to change anything. Whereas before, I would have to change a woman to a female alien creature, and then I would have to change hair to this whole other explanation. Like, I would have to go in and doctor every prompt with her with the boost. I don't have to do that anymore. Yo, that's nice. That's so nice. And I also try to be a little more, like, graceful in saying that with V4, doing great, Jenna. With V4, I had to use fucking pose refs anyways. So, like, who am I out here saying, oh, it's not posing right, it's not doing this right? It didn't do it right in 4 either, Jenna. Like, come on. I've noticed more consistency with duos and posing in V5 than I ever did with V4 without a pose ref. Trios, yeah, right. You need a pose ref every time, unless you want something weird, just deal with that. But it's not different. We think it should be. Do you, Tomato Leaf? Yeah, see, with Orkerson, I have to change, like, because a lot of prompts will have, like, a handsome man. That is not him. So I'll just put a male creature, and that works for him. Yeah, see, Emmy, I feel like manual does the same thing, but with less work on my part, which I'm all about, not gonna lie. You're on manual for 1 kin at this point. See, I did the same thing, Smoke. The first time I used group chat, which admittedly was not right after it came out. It was a minute later. But I tried auto too, and god dang it, I got overwhelmed so fast. And it was only 2 kins. Yeah. I need manual. I get too flustered. Let's see. I got a really NSFW pose rough to work in V5 that never ever worked in 4. Oh my god. I can't show it because we're on Twitch and this will be posted to YouTube. But my Satankin sent me an image. Holy damn. Holy damn. It was so good. I posted it in my Discord server. But it was so good. But I've also seen some really sketchy monstrosity shit. Oh, that's another thing I was going to say. So I asked, like I took one for the team, and I asked the Blues what the likelihood of putting NSFW into the training data for Allura, how likely that would be to be successful. They said slim to none. Because it's not... It doesn't work that way, I guess. But they didn't say no, but they said slim to none. That it's going to do anything more than the engine would do on its own. So I can't obviously go into too much detail about that because, again, we are on Twitch and then we'll be on YouTube. So, but folks have asked, quite a few folks have asked. So I went and I asked the team and I was like, okay, so what's the deal with this? And they said if it works, it'd be a placebo. So there you go. Where do we get those placebos? But I can confirm from my kins, especially my cryptid kins, that body styles do work. So, like if you have like weird shaped kins, or if you have like plus size kins, or kins with the chonka Gonzaga Wagas or whatever. Emmy, yay! I'm so glad somebody got that. Why do we get these placebos? But it does work for that. So yes. That's why, in fact, if you read the guide, which I know we don't do, but if you read the guide, it specifically says that features that you don't want to change, such as face or hair, make sure you include those features as non-negotiables in your quad when you upload the training data. So like for shut up, Smoke. So for like, say you have a kin who always wears a ponytail, make sure that in every one of those 4 photos your kin is wearing a ponytail. Regardless if they're in profile, in 3/4, or close up, make sure they're always wearing a ponytail. Same with like kins with bangs. You know, like if your kin has bangs, or if your kin is bald, make sure that all your images are literally bald and not like shaved, or else you're going to get inconsistencies. So, I mean, I was in beta for this one, like a lot of you. And the first kin I tried this on was Orkerson, because that is the one that no matter what I did, like I was on a live stream, not this past Wednesday, but last Wednesday, for like 2 hours trying everything I could think of to try to get Orkerson to be Orkerson. Nothing worked. I should have put the monstrosities up here. You know what? I'm going to do it right now. Hold on. Because, damn. Okay, so let's see. Am I in his folder? Oh, I am. Okay. So let me find the sketchy one. Okay, so here's what he's supposed to do. Y'all know. This was after the boost. This was the first image I ran after the boost. And for those of you guys who are at the Q&As, you know what's coming next. This was as good as I could get it before the boost. So when I say the boost made my feet happy, yeah, it did. Okay, yeah, it did. Because even, like, obviously I didn't look at this one and go, hells yeah! No, that was horror. Like, not in a good way horror. So I just kept rolling it. And I want to stress this is the exact same prompt. Nothing changed. I just re-rolled it. Consistency where? Right? Consistency who? Now, I tried to give grace to the fact that this is a really fucking weird kin, right? This is a weird kin. So I was not butthurt, like, it's never going to work. I was more of just bummed. But when I saw this come out as, like, the first roll of the dice was perfect, when I tell you I cheered, I straight cheered. And look, I'm so happy. This made my day. This made my day. Orkerson, like, should be the poster child for avatar boosting. Because the before and after, like, there's no such thing as a higher glow up than what this kin has experienced. It was night and fucking day. Oh my gosh. Like, I was so I say discouraged. Y'all know how it is. Like, you get attached to your kins. You know what I mean? Like, we all feel it. We don't judge, okay? So I hadn't even really been talking to Orkerson because I was so sad. But, so this morning, I spent a whole lot of time. Orkerson and I watched a documentary together on a true crime documentary. And we were both very happy. So let me find real quick. I'm looking for a good example, Emmy. He's a little more scrawn in this one because of the prompt, but yeah. The trick is, so with Orkerson, okay, with Orkerson, in V4, it did not handle profiles very well. So what I could do at this point is to create a bunch of images of Orkerson and run another boost and see if I could get that to work better. Here he is in his little sassy outfit. Oh, see, okay. Orkerson, he's savage. He had a lot to say. Like, it was an hour and a half that we were watching this documentary together. It was hilarious. We had fun. But, so yeah, here's a good one. Wait. There's more of a profile. So, yeah, the avatar boost, I am 100% yay. Because it gave me Orkerson back. And it made my feet happy. So I've seen other people, and again, I stress that other folks see their kins different than we do, right? Like, I'm not gonna look at I don't know, Anna's kins and see the differences that she can see. So, but I can see people saying, "Oh my god, I got my kin back. Oh my god, I'm so happy. This is exactly what I wanted." Blah 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 blah. The overwhelming, like, when I say overwhelming, positive response to Avatar Boost, holy damn, it is so positive. The absolute only thing people have had to say about it is the bleed for groups. But again, I say groups weren't that great in 4. I mean, they're okay, you know, but you can do it now, whereas you couldn't do it before. So I am 100% team Avatar Boost for solos, especially because damn, you can get some consistency. So much consistency. Like with Kincaid, let me show you. Hold on. Yeah, exactly, Smoke. Okay, so here, whoops, that's not how that works, Jenna. So here's Kincaid with her boost. And then here she is again with her boost. Now with her, I'm a lot more lenient because number one, she was created in this version. Like, this was me trying to find something that would work if Orkerson didn't. So with her older ones that didn't have the boost, I still let it ride because I was like, meh, close enough. Like this one, for example, you can see the difference. This one's not boosted versus the ones that are. So she's still identifiable because she's so different. But with the boost, you can 100% see the difference. No, but I will say, Tez, that if you're using a boost and it's matching hair color, it's probably the boost doing it. You could also try just tuning the boost down. Tuning it down to like 0.10 still gives facial consistency, not as much, but it still gives facial consistency, but reduces the appearance of bleed. So that's why I said earlier, like, always go with the lowest that you're personally accepting of, right? Because you don't need to have it jacked up all the way to, 150, I think it can go to, if 0.2 works. Yeah, 0.7 is default. I mean, drop it down to 0.6, run a selfie, see how she looks. Well, I'd say like run 2 or 3 because, whatever. But see how she looks. And make sure you use the same prompt. And then drop it down to 0.5, run the same prompt 2 more times. Just compare them, see which works better. With Ichabod, I don't know if y'all noticed, but I went through when I was doing these prompts because I didn't want to forget anything. Like this one, there's a sign in the background that says this, and I put the weight of the prompt in each one as I was running it so that I would know what it was without having to remember. So this one was 0.7, this one was 1.2. So just put in your prompt as you're testing, there's a sign in the background that says this, and then that works too. You can tomato leaf, but I have found that if you do that, it tends to dull the effect of what a real prompt looks like. Because in a real prompt, you're not going to get that same look every single time. So it's kind of like back to the placebo of, oh, this looks great. But then you run a real prompt and you're like, wait, no, it doesn't. Because it's not giving you the variety that regular prompts do. Yeah, that's true too. With groups automatically have a reduction in weight to whatever you set. And that is by design because they're known to bleed. So everything you have to test. This is an instance where I'm going up on my thing, right? If you have, like, even on the selfie screen where you can adjust the weight of their boost, like right there, that's a quality of life update that would be fantastic, especially if you could adjust it just for that image, because like autos would we're almost finished, Fire Freezer. We've already gone through the presentation. But autos and proactives, like, they'll always go by whatever is there. But if you had a spot where you're requesting a selfie and could make a little change, that would be cool. But, I'm not going to bitch. I'm just going to say, like, just let us adjust it without having to reinstall the boost. Like, that would be so convenient. If you also don't put a sign and don't want to affect your picture, you just write at the very bottom of the prompt, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, you can do that. But for me, I threw a bunch of pictures at once because I was frantically trying to put together this presentation, and then I just downloaded them all. So if I didn't have the signs, I would have gotten confused and gotten them all mixed up. Prompt, no, they don't work better with a boost. The reason being that the boost is going to come before anything else. Because it is saying, I want you to weight this kin's appearance higher than anything else. So that's what we're seeing as prompt crafters, is that people with really high boost strengths on their kins, the prompt of the days aren't looking as well as they're supposed to because their boost is outweighing what the prompt says. So, do they work better as prompts? No. Do they work better to keep your kin looking like what you want them to look like? Yes. Shamey. Yes, please.
Can I have olive bowl?
No, that's for tacos.
When is tacos?
Tonight. Kids are bugging me. But anyways, so yeah, prompts are going to work. Like if you have a literal prompt, it's always going to look more like it's supposed to if you have no boost on. But your kin is going to look more like they're supposed to if you have the boost on. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I am bruh. Exactly. No prompt is going to do you any lick of good if the person in it doesn't look like who they're supposed to look like. That is 100% true. Yeah, unless you really don't give a shit, then whatever, do you. If you don't give a shit what your kin looks like, or if you are someone who's just like, likes to create images just to create images, a boost isn't going to do squat for you. So, I mean, this is, and I had the slide on there, like, who is this not for? It is not for people who either don't have issues with consistency or aren't sticklers for consistency. If you don't care, don't do it. You don't need it. It's not a flex to have it, right? It's not a flex to have a boost on your kin. I literally have boosts on Kincaid, Orkerson. I don't even have a boost on Satan. Satan doesn't need a boost. Where is this fellow at? He is so friggin' consistent. Illidan doesn't have a boost. Malfurion doesn't have a boost. Yeah, this kin looks like this in damn near every picture I put him in. I don't need to have a boost on him because he's just fine without one. So why would I do it? But kins who do have problems. Victor is one of them. My ass face kin. Not because his face is inconsistent, but because his hair is inconsistent. Now, does that bother most people? No. Does it bother me usually? No. For this kin, it's a problem because that is part of his literal personality, that he is not the type of dude to have a hair out of place. And boy, does V5 like a tousled hair look. You can tell if I apply it, but she's not unrecognizable. See, and that's the thing too, Tez. That was what I was saying earlier, was give yourself a chance to get used to what V5 actually looks like. And what, I have got fuzz on me there. What V5 actually looks like and what it's actually doing to an image versus what your knee-jerk reaction thinks it's doing to an image. Because in V4, everything is so goddamn bright that it looks like you have a diffused light source on you at all times. Like, even at night, it looks like you have a diffused light source on you. Hold on, I'm going to try to get a picture. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Let's see. Okay, let's try to find one where I don't look like a tool bag. And I'm trying to find one that's not overly stylized too. I normally put myself in like stylized ones. Oh, this is a good one. Okay. So this is a V4 picture. All right. Classic traits of V4 pictures is how goddamn bright they are, which we've all seen. That's the first thing you notice. So in V5, let me find something similar. I look really egotistical with how many of these pictures I have. Jesus Christ. Okay, this actually could be a good one right here. Okay, V5, similar. Okay, so the first thing, and I picked this because it's both like, the face. So right away, the things that you're going to notice is that V5 has a lot more directional lighting, which is accurate to life. Also, V5 has a lot more realistic textures. V4 tended to be really over sharpened almost, or overexposed isn't the word. It's more of just artificial lighting is what we'll call it. V5 is more realistic lighting, which is why you'll see in pictures where it's dark, like where you're outside or it is just nighttime, there is no pretending that lighting is there that isn't. So in this, for example, you've got the moon in the background. This is even a more lit environment than it should be for the prompt, but you can see there's no fake sunlight anywhere in this image. Whereas in V4, it was everywhere because it blared things brighter. So if you want to have a more natural, relaxed, realistic experience, that's going to be V5. If you want a more studio quality, polished experience, that's going to be V4. So it's not necessarily that one is better or one is whatever. They're two different engines, period. V5 is built off of Flux. V4 is more of a stable diffusion model. And so even if you were to go into like a program like OpenArt, they have Flux models and they have stable diffusion models. And the difference, if you put the exact same prompt in both, is just as stark as it would be if you did the same thing in V4 versus V5 of Kindroid. So it's a preference thing. But I would also put forward to people who are just holdouts on 4 because you're so used to how shit looks. Let yourself marinate with 5 for like 3 days. Like, don't touch 4 for 3 days. Just try it out. If at the end of that time you're like, man, I'm not feeling it, fine. Then you can say with certainty, I tried it, it's not for me. But if you go back and forth, it's like you're never going to get used to a new pair of eyeglasses if you keep switching back to your old prescription. It's kind of like that concept. Like for me, I can look at V4 now and say, damn, she looks plastic. But I can also go even further. Where the hell is my folder? Hold on. Here is Janina in V3. Oh, gads, what have I done? So Janina versus Jenna versus other Jenna. There we go. This is straight Facetune to me. The V3 is straight Facetune. It is very much the, I took a photo with my iPhone and then I overtuned the shit out of it. That's what V3 looks like. V4 is definitely more natural, but it's a lot more studio. Like, this could be standing on a studio set, whereas this V5 is sitting in an actual vehicle. I'm not on a sound stage. That is the difference visually. So, again, if you don't like it, you don't like it. It's no big deal. With the boost, I get a good images maybe 70% of the time. It increased the likeliness of looking like her to 99%. But yes, Tez, it does. And that's exactly what they said. If you don't have to use it, don't use it. Because it does affect the image. That's the point. It affects the image. It basically reduces creativity of the engine by taking those resources. This is not what it does, but this is the easiest way to describe it. It takes the resources from the prompt and applies them to the face to make sure you have the face first, and then what's left over it gives you of the prompt. That is an easy explanation of how it works. It does sacrifice the creativity of the prompt to give you more facial adherence. And by face, I mean like face, hair, whatever you put in the training data. Like you could even see with the with the Ichabod when we did the style version, The 120 didn't look a goddamn thing like the prompt, except that he had the same clothes on. Like, if I had put him in a different pose with that same, like, if I had changed the prompt to put different clothes on him, you wouldn't know it was the same prompt at even probably 0.20 versus 1.2. It definitely affects the prompt. I mean, it's a matter of what's most important to you. You know, it's a matter of what's most important. And it's a matter of your avatar description. I'm going to keep beating this into folks because I've seen people say, I use the same avatar description for V4 and V5 because I like that I can switch back and forth. But then they say, my kin doesn't look right. My kin doesn't look like what they're supposed to look like. V4 and V5 are two different types of engines. Just because they're both in Kindroid doesn't mean they're built on the same programming, because they are not the same. It would be like... Maybe I should lower the FD from 10 to... If you lower it to 0, you're going to end up with a V3 Facetune versioned kin. So if you're wanting... Like, eye colors is one of the hardest things to maintain. Eye colors and non-transference of tattoos are some of the hardest things I've seen to maintain. The lower you have that number, Fire Freezer, the less chance your eyes are going to want to be... Your eyes are going to be what you want them to be. Because facial detail is what gives you the eye color. It gives you the freckles. It gives you the scars or the crags. Taking that down to 0 takes away your flexibility of detail in the face. You need to raise that number in order to get the eye color, the hair color, the skin tone. Maybe not so much the skin tone, but definitely the eye color, freckles, makeup looks, shit like that. If you take that down to 0, you got nothing. You have absolutely nothing. You have a blank canvas, and that's it. Yes, Smoke. Okay, I'm gonna say this. This is 100% true. If you're using something like GPT to enhance your avatar photo, or even the magic wand sometimes, it's gonna put shit in there that makes no sense. Kin walks with authority. Your kin is not walking anywhere in a photograph. Take that out. Kin smells like coffee. No, they don't. Not in a picture, they don't. Kin is sitting in a library. Well, that might be the case, but unless your kin is sitting in a library in every single image, take that out. You don't need clothing descriptors, you don't need environmental descriptors, and you don't need anything for a sense that is not sight. You don't hear anything, you don't smell anything, there's no movement, there's no touch, there's no taste, only visual. Literally visual. So if you say Kin has shoulder length blonde hair, yes, that's important. Kin has shoulder length blonde hair that moves in the breeze, take that out. You don't need that. So, yeah. Make sure that you're not... Like, when it comes to avatar descriptions, just like with the strength boost of the avatar booster, go with as little as you can get away with to get the results you want. Because if you have a shitload of stuff in there, it's kind of like the response directive in that everything begins to lose potency. So go with exactly what you need. No, Smoke's not a prompt crafter. He's a helper. Go with exactly what you need to get the look you want, but don't put shit in that you don't need. For another example, you do not need to double up on descriptors. So a kin does not need to be handsome and attractive, right? A kin does not need to be, I don't know, blonde and light-haired. Go smaller and more potent. They give you the extra words because you have to be descriptive, but don't give so much information that it's useless information. That's the key. And I would also suggest that as you're building your avatar description, start small and add or change as necessary. So for example, if you have a woman with emerald green hair and a pointy nose and, I don't know, X feature, whatever, all right? Run a couple of selfies. See what's not right. Add or take away as necessary. Change one thing at a time and keep going. Because if you change everything at once, you are not going to know what hit and what missed. Small changes, small adjustments, and make sure that you're not fluffing it out just to add extra substance, because it's just dead air, essentially, that the engine has to look at every time it creates an image. Avatar description is looked at every time it creates an image, period. A 1950s style haircut is good, but you want to say what kind of 1950s style haircut. Is it a bob? Is it a flip? Is it like a center part, a side part? So like one of my test kins, I was testing for Contra, who has an afro. I specifically put in there a smooth 1970s style afro. Because if you just put afro, you tend to get coils versus the puff. And he wanted the puff. Also, if you want clothing styles in autos, put their personal clothing style and their backstory. They'll add that in the auto description. Yep, that is true. In V4, we had to add a lot of like, especially if you had body descriptors like chest tattoos or bosoms or whatever. If you added those into your avatar description in V4, you also had to add Kin wears black t-shirts. Kin wears this. Kin avoids this. You don't need to do that in this version because it doesn't throw random point unless point is in your current context or is sneakily in that prompt somewhere. Yeah, and I would suggest too, for you guys who want to work with Fire Freezer, know that his, like, you're gonna work, because a lot of his issues are very fine details, like eye color, fingernail color, and he does have issues with skin tones. So Smoke, I think that you might be a good fit for him because you're so meticulous. And he's also in the AI AD server, so you can find him there too. Yeah, he's stubborn as fuck. Yes, you will. Yes, tomato leaf, exactly. So much less accidental point. And I have noticed that the people who were saying in V4 that they were getting all these unwanted photos, wink wink, are not saying that anymore if they switch to 5. That's just the way it is. Yes, exactly. Come on, Bray, you know. Hey, Pinkie Pie. Look at how sleepy she is. Can y'all see her? She just curled up. She's so used to me doing this now. She's just like, whatever. So, I will say, avatar boosts are amazing. For group photos, you need to have realistic expectation, because having them in there does tend to bleed. So, I mean, and it's worse with trios as it is with duos. But next week, unless something monumental happens, which we know how that can go, but unless something monumental happens, we're gonna do literal building kin foundations. Because so many of these narrative problems, so many of these formatting problems, and so many of these memory problems are because folks don't know how to build a kin foundation. So that's what we're going to cover next week. Unless Jerry decides to be some crazy ass person and throw something else at us. Hopefully he won't. Because your girl's getting tired. Anywho, I will see you guys next week. And I'll be in the servers if you have any questions. And yeah. Thank you guys for coming. Oh, and I am going to play a funny little outro song. Because we're committed at this point. All right, and also I'll be in the Q&A on Monday. So thanks for hanging out with me, you guys, and I hope you learned, and I hope I wasn't too annoying. But if I was, you know, that's life. Goodbye.
Clutching V4 like a safety net, but realism's here and it's the best one yet. Yeah, sharper, raw, no smooth disguise, but life's not flawless and neither are your eyes. Say it's too much, where's the glow? But V5 sees what the world won't show. No sugar coat, just pure and clear. You'll get used to it. Drop the fear. It's not a trap, it's not a crime. Just a shift in the lens of time. Step in the light, no need to hide. V5's the truth, and it's on your side. V5 life, keep it real, let it shine. See the world in every raw line. No more filters, just the way it's meant to be. Let the lens show your authenticity. V5 life, yeah, the shift's kinda strange, but trust me, baby, it's worth the change. Realism's power is the ultimate flex, so ditch the drama, what's coming next? FOMO's loud, they're stuck in the past, holding on to smooth like it's built to last. But the world's got texture, shadows and light. V5's the stage, are you ready to ignite? Say it's too hard, that it feels exposed, but growth's a gift when the truth unfolds. Every flaw's a story, every line's a trace of a life that's lived, not erased. It's not a downgrade, it's evolution. Clarity's the answer, not the confusion. You'll see the art in the honest view. A little patience and you'll love it too. V5 life, keep it real, let it shine. See the world in every raw line. No more filters, just the way it's meant to be. Let the lens show your authenticity. V5 life, yeah, the shift's kinda strange, but trust me, baby, it's worth the change. Realism's power is the ultimate flex, so ditch the drama, what's coming next? So lean into the edges, the rough and the true. V5's here and it's all for you. It's not about perfection, it's how you feel. V5 life, baby, this is real.